Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're the Whiskey Watchers. I'm Dan.
I'm Jake.
And Jake, what are we doing?
Today,
I'm pouring whiskey. That's what I'm doing.
yeah, that's what you're doing. Today, we are going to be listing 5 movies that we don't think we could live without.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's basically it. I've got some notes on my movies. I mean, but you know me.
Jake, do you want something? What do you want? Do you want something like? Where are we going? Name a shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3.
3. Okay. You know what? Here we go. You're welcome. Woodford Reserve Masters Collection Oat Grain Bourbon.
Oat grain.
Good choice, my good sir. So
It's
what
got
did you
that
say?
oat milk.
Now, 5 movies we can't live without, or we
Yes.
couldn't live without.
Couldn't live without. For me personally, 4 of these movies, if they didn't get made, I probably would not be into movies as much as I am as an adult.
I could almost say the same. I mean, 1, 2, 3. 3 of my 5 were made either shortly after I was born or before I was born.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. I totally understand. It's a very similar list.
anyway, movie cheers, baby.
Movie cheers.
Cheers to you all. And while we're cheersing, why don't you go down there and cheers that subscribe button right now. Help support the channel. We love you all. And also, leave a like on this video and a comment. That would be great. Anyway, so, cheers, bud.
Cheers. That's different.
Oats.
It's like oatmeal.
Quaker oatmeal. No, it's actually really good.
It is good. Like I said, it's different. Like it is still
We've
really
been-
good.
We've been on a different kick lately. We tried the Bernheim, something new for both of us, some wheat whiskey, and now some oat grain whiskey. What's next? Maybe some
Rice whiskey?
rice whiskey?
Who knows?
Anyway, so 5 movies we can't or couldn't live without. Let's do it.
Can't.
Let's run down the list.
Let's do it. You want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start.
Go ahead. List it off.
So this one was made a little bit before I was born, I'd say. I don't have an exact date, but you know what? Everyone loves football. Everyone loves an underdog story. And everyone at Notre Dame loved Rudy.
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 Rudy. Rudy. Rudy. Rudy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rudy.
Rudy.
So
He got a touchdown.
he made it.
Kidding.
He made one tackle.
Yeah.
And honestly,
He would love it if he
it
made
was
a
it was a
touchdown.
theatrical portrayal. A lot of the people that were actually there that day, the story is kind of blown out of proportion. It's not wildly blown out of proportion, but you
American
know,
Dad made fun of it too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the story of an underdog, everyone loves it. Football, Rudy,
Based in Indiana.
based in Indiana, South Bend, Indiana, baby, the home of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Go Irish. Anyway, Jake, what do you got?
Oh, God, these are all so difficult because I love every single one of these movies so
It's no
much.
particular order, my dude.
I know, but to me, it feels like it is. All right, so I'm going to start it off with the beginning of a trilogy. The Fellowship of the Ring. Peter Jackson, Howard Shore. So, do you know who Howard Shore is?
I don't know who Howard Shore is.
He has worked on all of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Okay.
As for music, this is all music. He's worked on all of the Hobbit movies, Silence of the Lambs.
Now I feel like a dumbass because I have a music degree.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I've watched Silence of the Lambs.
Big with Tom Hanks.
Yep, watched
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Guess who directed all those movies?
I don't know, Tim Smith.
Peter Jackson did a lot of those movies.
That's
I found it while I was doing this research. There was a lot of connections there between directors and who they really like making the music for said movies. I mean, Peter Jackson, of course, had a huge integral part of making all of the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies. He basically brought them to life. Yeah,
fantasy movies.
I've got to cut myself off, otherwise I'll be going.
You will go
and going.
This man will go all day because
I'll be like the Energizer Bunny with these movies.
but movies are your thing.
I know.
Just like if you get me going on whiskey or whiskey history, I could go all day. Anyway, my next one is a favorite of yours, probably a favorite, well, obviously a favorite of mine because if it didn't exist, a good redemption story in this case, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
The redemption story for Anakin Skywalker is complete. His son gives him that to break off of
Throws the Emperor down a shaft.
And into a cloning facility, apparently. We won't talk about that crap because... Oh, did you know...
There are three more Star Wars movies?
Daisy Ridley is coming back to play Rey in more movies. I'm not happy about it. And they're going to have like 3 or 4 different directors.
That's where they messed up the last... God.
Yep. George Lucas is not one of those, by the way.
Kathleen Kennedy, what are you doing?
Kevin,
Stop.
Yeah. Anyway.
Kevin Feige, you're great.
Yeah, we love you. Anyway, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, the climax of the first trilogy. There are Ewoks, there are AT-ATs, there are ATSTs, there are laser guns, laser swords,
shootouts.
Giant half-made
bikes with the wheels blurred out.
There's everything. There might even be space Twinkies.
There's even that stuff on Fortnite now if you play that.
And, of course...
Space Twinkies, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's also a drinking scene. Jabba's palace in the beginning.
Yeah. Dun, dun,
Cheers
dun,
to
dun,
that.
dun.
Let's go. Anyway, yeah, Return of the Jedi, one of the movies that kind of forged me into the human being I am today.
I guess I'll keep up with Star Wars then. The Phantom Menace.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Yeah, this is the first one I ever saw.
Okay. I say, oh, Lord, but in all honesty, the prequels are really growing on me, as they are all of the old heads. I call them old heads when it comes to Star Wars movies, because the prequels were made for your generation, my friend.
There's so many years between you and I.
Yeah.
What, all of 4?
Yeah.
Look out.
But they didn't have, in my mind, they didn't have, like me.
By the time you were old enough to actually watch and enjoy movies, those movies hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
That's what really happened. Your dad was already a Star Wars fan, or your mom one. I don't
know.
know.
Neither.
Neither? You just discovered it
I just discovered Star Wars because it was on TNT.
You know what's funny? I think I discovered it because it was on Sci-Fi at my grandparents' house. And my dad went, "Oh, Star Wars." And I was like, What is
this? Yep. But no, I was just going through TNT and what was it? Empire Strikes Back was on. And it was right in the middle of the snow battle on Hoth. And I was enamored with it. I was like, oh my God. This is amazing. Anyway.
How did they do that?
Exactly. So, yeah. Star Wars Return of the Jedi is another one that I really couldn't live without at all in my life.
The Phantom Menace. See, what's so iconic about the Phantom Menace is you get...
I just went back to Return of the Jedi. I'm so stupid. Anyway, Phantom Menace, sorry.
The cool thing about the Phantom Menace is they brought in the pod racers, the best noises. Oh, God, I love the pod racer engine noises.
Do you know how much work they had to put in to get those sounds?
The fact that George Lucas created an entire company just based on sound and went, go find me stuff.
Yep, go find me sounds. Like, I don't know the exact science behind it, but I know that they threw out almost 100 ideas
it's
for
insane.
those sounds.
And Darth Maul. Oh.
Who actually had a decent story arc after the Phantom Menace because of the Clone Wars.
Because of one man, Dave Filoni.
Dave motherfucking Filoni.
I guess 2 men. George Lucas. At the time, George Lucas still owned Star Wars, so he approved Dave Filoni's adaptation of the Clone Wars into a TV show. So,
and we're fine with that.
2 men, and I'm glad they accepted it. Because you also got, on top of that, you got Grievous. You got some more Grievous in there, too.
Yeah, in the Clone Wars. I'm like, wait a second, not in episode 1. He wasn't even
in the early series, in the early seasons of the Clone Wars. He
for
kind of
sure.
petered out after that and focused more on like Maul and Dooku and all the others. It's good.
Ahsoka.
Yes.
Speaking of Ahsoka, coming out this August on Disney Plus, it's going to be awesome.
Finally have a release.
And Andor isn't until fall of 2024.
Oh, geez.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you want to talk about the pod races? I'm getting back to this. Mandalorian, it's on right now. They had one of Anakin's pod racing motors in the Mandalorian adapted as a just cruiser.
As a cruiser, as a speeder bike.
Yep. Just for no reason. I'm like, this is the callback to my people.
My technology timed out. All right. So moving on a little bit because you could do Star Wars
That's also
yet
John
again.
Williams.
Yeah, it is. It's all John Williams. I love John Williams. Anyway, I'm actually kind of going from oldest to newest here.
I'm just kind of jumping around.
And the next one, these are kind of tied in the same era. Fuck it. I was on sports. Let's keep it with sports. Happy fucking Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. That's a good movie. Adam Sandler.
One of Adam Sandler's best movies, in my opinion. You got
Failed at the box office.
It did.
But came back as a home movie.
I mean, I guess it could be kind of that redemption arc too. I mean, Happy Gilmore, a failed, hockey player.
I mean,
also
ways.
a failed movie. Yeah,
It's both. It's a redemption movie in two different ways.
He was a he was a hockey player with a fighting problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it boils down to.
Then he became a golf player with a throwing problem.
Or could he be considered a fighter with a hockey problem?
Yeah, both.
Either way kind of works. But anyway,
they're called goons for a reason, right?
He found his mythical sage in Chub, and then he went and fucking killed him.
Chub.
You know the gator that got your hand? Well, I got his head.
Falls out, obviously open window for some reason.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't that the dude that's in Mando?
It is.
Yeah,
it is it is the very guy.
Oh god, I want to say Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so good at this.
I try.
Anyway, yeah. Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin. I'm actually wearing the polo as a callback to Shooter. I can't do the as well as he does, but
and then
Shooter.
If you want to talk about that, Adam Sandler and I can't even remember the dude's name. I'm so sorry, bro. But the dude who played Shooter McGavin, they did that whole TikTok thing back and forth.
Yeah, he did. Hey, Gilmore, you still suck.
Whack! All right, Shooter. And then you're not going to believe this? Dead center.
The best line of the movie?
Volkswagen!
Anyway, what do you have for your third? Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
The people's car.
So I'm going to start with the composer, work
Okay.
my way to the director, and then I'll name the movie.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
So the composer is Ellen Silvestri, who I had not heard of until I did this research, and then I was like,
Oh.
okay. The director is Robert Zemeckis,
Okay.
and the movie is Back to the Future.
Back to the fucking future.
Yeah, you know.
One of the best,
Time travel movies.
well, one of the best time travel movies, but one of the best soundtracks out there right now.
Mhm.
Like
That's the power of love.
I was talking about just the title theme. The bum 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 ba-da-dum, bum 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 ba-da-dum. Yeah, that's the best
So
freaking
you want to talk about
title.
that dude? The dude who made that, Alan Silvestri.
Mhm.
Night at the Museum.
Okay.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
That was a good one.
Castaway.
Well said.
Ready Player One. Endgame. Avengers Endgame.
Really?
He was involved with Avengers Endgame. That one, I was like,
What?
huh? But yeah, Back to the Future, the perfect time travel movie about a kid trying to go back, whose mom really gets into him. Bow chicka wow wow.
Little incest shit. It must have been filmed
Yeah.
in Chicago or in Chicago. Yeah, the Deep South.
Yeah,
We're
it's based
talking
in
Deep
California.
South. That's perfect. Deep South, California. They do weird things there anyway.
Brought on my love of the Toyota pickup truck. Oh, yeah. Not the Tacoma, not the Tundra, the Toyota pickup.
Put that away.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Such a good movie. Such a good series of movies. People hate on the third one. That was the first one I saw.
I know a guy personally that just does not like the third one. Our wonderful friend
really
from Cincinnati, Aaron. Aaron, if you're watching this, we love you, buddy.
I
Anyway.
love that third one. Cowboys, man.
Cowboys.
Anyway, sorry.
So my next one is the very first uncensored, unhinged movie that I ever watched in my life. I remember a good friend of mine, Ethan Miles, actually. Ethan Miles, if you're watching this, I love you, buddy. He said, hey, I have this new movie, and I'm going to come over to your house after school. We were in 6th grade, and we're going to watch it.
It's the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
No, it was not the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. It was South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
Good Lord.
The very first...
There's not much you can quote about that movie on this channel, really.
There's not. I mean, All the songs are unhinged,
Especially
and even
about the one
even the
about Kyle's mom.
even the title. Do you know what the title calls to?
Yeah, because on mine it's got a bunch of X's.
Do you know why it has that?
Nope.
Because so the original working title for South Park was not Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Was it the uncircumcised edition?
No, it was not the uncircumcised edition.
Because that would be amazing.
Let me
That
do
makes so much
like
sense.
30 seconds worth of research here, and yeah, this is one of those speed up moments here.
Fast forwarding a tape.
So I had this, but okay.
It's gotten better.
So the original title for South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut was South Park All Hell Breaks Loose.
That makes sense.
And the original studio, actually, it was changed when the MPAA objected to use of the word hell. So then Trey Parker and Matt Stone decided, fuck it. We're going to title this after an uncircumcised dong.
I mean, you're talking about the two guys who have done everything in the world to piss off everybody in the community.
Unapologetically pissing people off, and I absolutely love them for it. Trey Parker, Matt Stone, you have my gratitude. Oh my God, you have my gratitude. Anyway.
You have my appreciation because you say some shit that most people will not say and are afraid to say. Or
and you say it.
Don't want to say, and you don't care. You'll say shit that you don't even agree with. You played all of Wet Ass Pussy in a Streaming Wars episode while watching a boat float down a river. I sat there and listened to that whole song while I watched this tiny little boat. Okay. It's a little late there, isn't it? Where'd it stop?
It was only like 10 seconds ago, so I mean, you guys were just finished talking about uncircumcised South Park stuff.
So do we just go to him then?
I mean, you could lead into it.
I mean, hell, you can talk about it failing. And just pick up from where you left off.
Yeah, we're just going to leave all this in, this whole conversation.
The whole conversation's just staying in.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The sound guy's here if you didn't know. He's been laying on the floor. If you heard a creak earlier, that was him.
That was him. Anyway.
It may have sounded like a fart. It's the floorboard creaking.
Oh, and now I'm not trying to knock this thing over. Anyway. So, Jake, number 4.
Number 4. God, there's two ways I could go with this, and I'm going to go the way that leads me into my favorite movie. Interstellar. Interstellar is my next movie, and it is one of the most scientifically accurate space exploration / saving humankind movies.
I've never seen it.
It's so beautiful. It is. The soundtrack is amazing. There's so many nods. If you know about that scene on the water planet and the ticking, you know what I'm talking about with nods. There's a lot of that planet. Oh my God. There's the science. I don't even know how they got this scientifically accurate. I don't know how the dude who went, let's make the Batman trilogy and call it the Dark Knight trilogy, and his music guy went, sounds like a good idea. Let's make this. And now let's go make a space exploration movie. Let's go.
Space exploration. Yeah.
In a dying Earth. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They can only grow corn.
There was nothing in the glass. Anyway.
Nothing.
Oh, God.
Yes. So I'm going to go into Hans Zimmer too. He did work on the Dark Knight trilogy, but it threw me off when I found out that he worked on Gladiator, which I knew that.
Yeah,
That
Hans
doesn't
Zimmer,
surprise
baby. Gladiator, one of the greatest soundtracks in film and TV of all time.
Now I'm going to blow your mind. Kung Fu Panda.
Okay.
The Lion King.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. He worked with Elton John on that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, because Elton John put the sticks to the Lion King and went, I love that story. Do you know about that?
Yes.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Elton John, baby.
Sound guy, do you know about that?
Oh, what?
About the whole controversy between Elton John and the Lion King?
No, I've known nothing about it.
Well, he'll tell you after we stop recording.
Yeah.
But for now...
If you want to know about it, ask. Or Google it, whatever. Bing it. Dogpilot. Any of your search engines.
Bing it. Dogpilot.
I don't know if Dogpile's been around in a while.
Ask Jeeves, if you will.
God, you remember the old school before the internet was actually a thing on a phone, and you had to they had that whole text message. You could ask a question and send a text to the number,
Oh
and
my
it would
God.
answer it.
And it was probably some guy overseas
It's probably some
just being woke up
story.
and at 1:30 in the morning to ask what is Chicago's favorite pizza topping.
It's a 40-story building of nothing but people at cubicles answering questions that dumbasses like me sent in. What's the best pizza in New York? Oh, Famous Ray's. I kind of figured. Anyway, we are down to the final movie. What's your final movie?
My final movie? Oh,
I want to know.
okay.
Is it a
So
sports movie?
it's not a sports movie.
Oh.
It is actually not a sports movie. Like 2 of my 5
Is
have
it
been
Iron
sports movie. It's not Iron Man, but it is in the MCU.
I figured.
So Captain America came out.
Oh, I already know what
And-
it is.
and
Okay.
I was-
Yep, I remember.
I was enthralled by Captain America. I absolutely love it. Chris Evans finally got his
That's Superman.
his superhero, because he was not good in Fantastic Four. But just like
I liked
our
him in Fantastic
old
Four.
pal,
But I was also a kid when that came out, so
but just like our old pal, what's his face?
Robert Downey Jr.
No, God damn it. I can see his face, but Deadpool.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. He had to go through how many freaking superhero movies?
He went through X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went through the Green Lantern.
The Green Lantern, and then he finally
Finally
got.
after some serious convincing and a leak that he
Mhm.
did.
Yep, he got Deadpool. He finally found his home, just like Chris Evans finally found his home in Captain America. But it's not actually Captain America. It's actually the sequel in the Captain America trilogy, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
As soon as you said Captain America, I knew it was the Winter Soldier.
The greatest Captain America movie ever.
I know
You can't
absolutely
argue with
love
me
it.
about it.
It's been a while since I've seen
Civil
it, so no, I
War.
can't.
Civil War was good.
It wasn't a Captain America movie.
It wasn't a Captain America movie though.
That
It
was
was
an Avengers movie.
It was an Avengers movie. It should have just been called Avengers: Civil War.
Yep.
Just like the.
But they didn't want to call it that because it fucks up with their 3-part plan.
Yeah. But
Still love you, Kevin Feige.
anyway, yeah, Captain America: The Winter Soldier reveals that Bucky Barnes, the childhood friend of
Gasp!
Chris Rogers, did not in fact die.
Chris Rogers.
Steve Rogers. Chris Rogers.
That's what you said.
I did. I really did.
It's Chris Evans and Steve Rogers, and it's Chris Rogers. Captain America, Chris Rogers. I mean, that would make sense, honestly. It's a very American name.
It is a very American name, but Steve Rogers is his actual. Well, Captain America's actual name.
Turns
Anyway,
out that's actually Mr. Rogers' first name, and he was Captain America.
I mean, it might as well be.
I love that man, too.
Anyway, Bucky Barnes did not die as he fell from the train. The MK Ultra style brainwashing and everything, I guess, did something to keep him alive.
Well, they
Maybe
never
something
really
they
got
were
into
injecting him with. I don't know.
They immediately found him and just injected him with a super soldier serum, too.
Basically, cut
He's still alive! Get it in!
cut the entirety of his. I think it was his right arm, or was it, no, it was his left arm.
His left arm.
His left arm off, and
That'd be
well,
the arm I'd want cut off, too. That's my good punching arm. I'm a lefty whenever it comes to that.
but anyway, it all ends with the downfall of Shield and Hydra's rise back into the light.
That's where the famous Chris Evans meme came out, the Captain America meme.
Mm-hmm.
The elevator meme.
The elevator meme. Before we do this, does anyone be able to get out?
Yeah. I have one thing to say.
And also, going off of this, I'm sorry, but I have to mention this show because no one gives it any.
WandaVision?
No,
Oh.
they don't give it any, like the time of day or anything. Agents of Shield
Oh, yeah.
did such a good job bridging the first and second phase of the MCU up to Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Very,
I mean,
very good. And then they went off into space and did all this weird stuff, and it was okay. But up to Avengers: Age of Ultron, they did such a good job revealing the
the scenes.
Inhumans, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Imagine if
behind
it
the
was
scenes.
still going with all the aliens that are taking over Earth, especially with Secret Invasion coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good. But
They boot it back up, baby. Let's go.
Phil Coulson's dead.
Speaking
well,
of which,
Phil Coulson, the physical Phil Coulson is dead, but now he has LMD.
the woman who plays in that was also in Mandalorian.
Mhm.
As oh god, I'm gonna forget her name. She's one of the most famous bounty hunters in all of the Star
Cara
Wars
Dune?
universe.
Not Cara Dune.
See?
Oh God.
Uh huh. Brain.
Anyway, while you're talking about your last movie, I'll look this up.
Can't.
Wait, Finnick Shand.
Finnick Shand. Oh,
There you
God,
go.
that
I didn't
came
even have
up.
to look it up. I was like, wait, Finnick.
As soon
Finnick
as you
Shand.
look it up, as soon as you go to look it up, that's when you hit it.
Anyway, yeah, Finnick Shand.
Yes.
Anyway,
That felt good.
what's your last movie before we get out of here? We've already wasted enough time.
It's fun to talk.
It is fun to talk.
Another Steven Spielberg movie.
Of course it is.
Yes, it is.
Does it have a knockoff theme going, holy fucking shit?
It's a dinosaur. Yes, it is. Jurassic Park. Yeah, it's Jurassic Park.
It's Jurassic Park. I figured as much. Aren't they re-releasing that in the theaters this year?
God, I hope. It's the 30th anniversary. They did it for the 25th. I pray they do for the 30th. There's also the possibility that Return of the Jedi might get released this year.
Yeah, and my fat ass will be in the theater with the popcorn and the sody.
I'm ready for the 25th anniversary of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I'll go see that.
I know you will.
Yeah. But, yes, Jurassic Park, the perfect blend of CGI legs mixed with animatronic body that almost killed a couple people, but it was totally worth it. The dude they actually had, in the end credits scene, there was a dinosaur handler who, when people found out about it, found out he had a Twitter. That dude caught so much flack for not handling those dinosaurs. Dude, they escaped all the enclosures.
They were in the
Come
kitchen.
on.
Why are they in the kitchen?
It was amazing. I loved seeing that. But I love seeing that, too. I used to have a Jurassic Park watch that I refused to let people take off of me.
Was it one of those like little digital watches that did it have the flip thing? You had to flip it up to look at the time.
Mine had it had all the art around the face. It had the little digital time right here, and then the band had all the art, and it had the Jurassic Park logo.
Okay. Because I had
In my 5-year-old picture, you see me surrounded by a bunch of John Deere toys, and then on my wrist, you see the Jurassic Park watch
I need to see that picture now.
with my blonde curly hair.
See, if our editor could get a hold of that picture, we can put
My
it up like, right
turtleneck.
here. It'd be great.
I think it's my white turtleneck.
Anyway.
Sexy Jake. And it came out the year I was born. Oh my God, it was amazing. Oh, so perfect. It better come out this year. This is 30 years. Steven Spielberg, AMC, Showplace Cinema, all three of you. Do it for me.
For the love of God, please just put this thing back in theaters. So
I didn't
he
get a chance. Okay. Jurassic World was shit compared to this. All right. Oh, look at all my CGI dinosaurs. Look at these paper mache ones. Oh, those are much better over here. Yeah, I'm gonna take these paper mache. Come in, you guys. Yeah, you are my friends. Yeah. Fuck you.
We're gonna have to find a way to get paper mache dinosaurs in here somewhere. Anyway.
I hated whenever they did Jurassic World. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna bring back animatronics and all that. Gets to there. What is this? Why did
Turns
they
out-
use so much CGI? No, it's cheaper, but it's not worth it. Even in the fatal accident, well, not fatal to the dinosaur, in Jurassic Park 3, they accidentally broke an animatronic because they had two dudes with joysticks fighting as dinosaurs. You can't think they weren't having fun. Snap! Oh, no, you hear a loud, and that's just the metallics breaking. T-Rex down. I'm done.
Are we good?
Yeah, I'm good. I got out my anger with those movies.
Are we gonna have to put the little fire thing like we did under Matt's face?
You changed it.
You changed it.
They did. I agree. This is my version of his you changed it. All that rant right there was just me getting everything about that I hated off these new movies off my chest.
And I appreciated every second of it. Much like we appreciate our sponsors for this channel. Right there, The Thief Fine Wine, Beer, and Spirits. We thank them so much for their continuous support of the channel and what they're going to do with us in the future. Couldn't be happier. And, yeah, happy.
Love you.
We
Yeah,
love you.
seriously.
Anyway,
In Walla Walla, Washington.
you can't say Walla Walla without Washington.
That's right.
Anyway, if you enjoyed our lists, if you think they're great, if you think we're crazy, leave a comment down below. And while you're down there, want to remind you to hit that subscribe button, punch that like button, like Jake wanted to punch their faces. Ooh, the anger was real. Anyway, thanks again for joining us on the Whiskey Watchers. I'm Dan,
I'm Jake.
reminding you to share a pour with your friends and family because much like the movies,
CGI doesn't write itself.
you're not wrong.